As we set up, we want that as usual has to be in everything. Foam rolling is something that I think many of us should be doing, but aren't doing. I'm going to be working with you on a follow along sequence specifically for our upper body. I'll be using a larger foam roller, but if you have the medium size, that's perfectly fine. I'll just recommend that you have a yoga block so that when we lie across our roller, you'll be able to support your head. Now, foam rolling can be a little sensational, especially if you're just getting started. I encourage you to stick with it, and I promise it gets better over time. I'd love to hear how you do with this one, and of course, if you think there's something specific I can help you with, let me know in the comments. We have fresh new weekly content, so if you enjoy, consider subscribing. Ready to roll. The first thing we're going to do is try to get into our upper back around the region of our shoulder blades, which is our thoracic spine. So I want you to come onto your roller. And you'll always want to stay to the shoulder blades and above. We never want to come into our lumbar. Support the head, elbows nice and wide. Lift your hips like you would come into a bridge pose. Just getting some weight onto the roller. And take a couple rolls back and forth. Again, never going under the shoulder blades, just to the bottom of them. If there's nothing wrong with your neck and you feel comfortable letting your head go, you've got to totally relax your neck here. Try not to keep any tension in the neck. And you're just looking for some initial pops or cracks. Bringing the hands back behind your head, elbows wide, and I want you to place your hips on the floor. Now this is important. Our lumbar spine is more mobile, right? So we can just dump into our low back. I want you to draw the abdominals in, embrace the core, so that we can really keep the movement in our upper back and thoracic. Just like you would a little sit up, I want you to arch over the roller and then come up with just like a little crunch. Couple rounds, inhale to open back over the roller. And then crunch back up. Lift your hips so that you could move the roller up or down, just maybe a ½ inch, and try it again. Inhale, open. And exhale, take the crunch. Pops and cracks are good things here, so you might hear micro adjustments happening. Try to find a spot that works for you, that feels good, where you can arch over the roller. You can also take this into a little arcing action, rolling from one side over to the other. And this is known as shearing, and you're just kind of separating the layers of tissue between the muscle, the fascia. Try to keep those elbows nice and wide. One more drop at center. Take a nice full breath in, and on the exhale, arch over that roller. And I want you to take the hands and press into your head to lift the head, but at the same time, try to push the elbows open, right? So it's an upward action with the hands and a downward action with the elbows. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, just relax that. Again, press up with your hands, down with your elbows. And relax. Let the weight of your head fall into your hands. And just do a little tractioning here. I'm going to try to pull my hands towards the crown of my head and lengthen through the neck. Check in with that core, draw the navel down on the exhale. From here, I want you to make a little pivot. Drop your knees to one side. Now, as we shift to our side, I like to take my roller to a little bit of a diagonal here. Our goal is to get right around the region of our armpits and roll to a back diagonal. So we're going from the armpit towards the shoulder. And if you don't feel anything here, I just want you to try moving the roller maybe up or down a little bit, or change the diagonal of the roller. See if you can find some spots with some knots. And sometimes you just need to do a small tweak. So that little tiny shift of the roller gave me a whole different experience. We're going to get a little bit further into our lats and pec minor. So we want you to take the roller down the arm. So right, I'm just on the arm right after the armpits. These fingers are going to support some of your body weight, and I want you to roll forward. Bring your palm to face down as you roll forward. As you roll back, I want you to rotate your palm towards the ceiling. Forward and down with the palm, and then back and up. There's a lot of hidden stuff kind of hidden right here in the arm, which is where we're headed. I'm gonna go a little further down, support your body weight, forward and down. That should be really sensational. And then roll back. I'm sorry if it's your first time you're trying this. You're gonna feel so good after though. And back. Make sure you're breathing. I only do this, I would say, about once a week, but I probably should do it 2 or 3 times a week, because a lot of my stuff, it stems from the upper body, shoulders. Last time. And if you can tolerate it, I'm just gonna go a little further down, so I'm not on the elbow, I'm just above the elbow. I'm gonna roll forward, not holding my breath. Whew. If you weren't awake, you're awake now. All right, roll your way up. Let's set up at center and we'll switch sides. As we begin to make that transition to our sides, remember we might want to take this at a diagonal. Come underneath your armpit, support the head, diagonal roll back, and forward. Now, I can't imagine not feeling this, but if you don't feel anything, just try to come up, adjust your roller. See if you could find a little trigger point or a knot. Now, if you could find a little knot, I'm gonna just kind of fish around. And once I find it, I'm gonna make a really small, just rock right over that one spot. It could take anywhere from 30 seconds for something to release with this little rocking action, or you can just hold statically and let your body weight melt right onto it. Let's see if we can take that roller a little further down. So I'm right on the arm, right after the armpit. Rolling back, palm is gonna face the ceiling. And then roll forward. Use these fingertips on the floor to support your weight. Open back, palm faces up and forward. Breathe. If you can tolerate it, begin to work your way down. Once you get into that belly of the bicep, that's when things get really gristly. I think a lot of people just roll their back, but look at all this stuff that's kind of waiting for us, right? That needs to be released. All of this is connected, affecting our posture, our mobility. Try to find a place to pause. Let's breathe. Maybe adjust your roller a little lower. Come up. Take a breath. All right, climbing up onto those knees, you're gonna do what looks like a prayer position. I'm gonna want my hips to stay over the knees and extend out over your roller. Palms should face the ceiling for this and allow your body weight to sink. Relax the head fully. Continue to try to draw the navel in to isolate the upper back and sink the armpits towards the floor. Roll your way up, palms face each other. And then one more time, extend forward, palms facing upwards. Melt the heart towards the floor. Roll your way up and back. And I want you to sit up with just your elbows on the roller. Palms gonna touch. I like to press my fingertips together here. You can also do prayer position. Try to rest your forehead on the roller with the elbows. And I want you to bend the elbows to come back into a little prayer position. Actively push the palms or the fingertips together and down and into the roller with your arms. Just see if you can get a little bit deeper into the lats and side body. Extending those arms. And go ahead and release back. Swing your legs around. I want you to find your way into a seat. I want you to sit comfortably, even if that means propping yourself up on the sofa. Just want to take a counter stretch. Drag your left arm across your right and shrug your right shoulder towards the floor. So I'm working from two directions. I'm retracting away and back with the right shoulder, and I'm dragging across with the left. Switching sides, we want to drag across with the right, shrug that left shoulder down, release, and just roll those shoulders. We're going to do one more thing, and then we're going to get right into our mobility work to finish. This is a myofascial stretch for the pectorals. Now what I want you to do is use your left fingers to start. You're going to come on the inside of your shirt. I suggest getting the flesh, your skin. And I want you to come right to the inside of your shoulder here. So right where you feel that little kind of valley between the shoulder and the pectorals. And round to a diagonal to the left. So I'm basically shortening my muscle fibers. Fingertips are going to come right into the pecs or right into that shoulder and begin to pull back and across. I want you to look to the left as you reach the right arm back. I'm dragging my fingertips across the chest. You're going to do that twice more. Shorten your muscle fibers, and now I want you to drag across. This works really well with a lacrosse ball too, because it's very tacky to the skin. It's actually my preference is to do this with a lacrosse ball. and release. Changing what side your mic is on. Fingertips are gonna come into that little valley. Cross, right? Shorten your muscle fibers. Fingertips press. Drag across to reach back. Twice more. Crossed and back. Last time. Shorten, right? Fingers press in and pull across. All right. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to set up lying on our roller. Now remember, if you have the shorter roller, please grab a yoga block so you have a little extra support for your head and that you fit comfortably. Chillin' on our rollers. Head is supported and gaze right at the ceiling. If you're feeling a little wobbly on your roller, it's helpful to walk your feet slightly wider than your hips and just tent the knees inward. Start by extending your arms out to the side. If your hands touch the floor, actively push into the floor with your hands and imagine squeezing your shoulder blades into the roller. There's a tendency here for the rib cage to pop, so I want you to actively try to push the ribs into the roller, keeping that strong navel center. Begin to reach your arms up and overhead and drop them long behind you. So I'm reaching up and over my head, making these half circles. Arms are going to extend out to the side. And then palms face each other as they come up and overhead, making large circles. Making sure that the rib cage doesn't pop while we're here. And then reverse the direction out and around, maybe trying to skim the floor as long as you can as those arms reach up and around. Right, the hands are going to want to lift off the floor as you come overhead. So try to keep them touching, 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 and up and over. Last time. Reach the arms overhead. Take a nice full breath in, palms are facing the ceiling, and exhale, bring this into a cactus position. As you come into this goalpost, I want you to try to lift your elbows towards the ceiling, but your backs of the hands towards the floor. We're forcing an external rotation. Inhale, arms sweep long overhead. Exhale, come into your cactus and lift the elbows, right? Backs of the hands to the floor. One more time, reach long and exhale, come into your cactus, elbows up. I just want you to hold here, trying to let the backs of the hands fall closer to the floor, the elbows higher to the ceiling. Relax the arms to your sides and inhale up towards the ceiling. Your right hand is going to grab the left forearm and I want you to lengthen it overhead. Allow the weight of your right arm to help assist and lengthen your left side. Actively pull that rib cage down to the roller. It's going to want to pop. Release the bind and up and overhead. We're going to take that bind. Left hand now to right arm as you lengthen. Check your form. Arms are going to reach around. I want you to give yourself a hug. Cross one arm over the other. Grab the shoulders. Take a nice full breath in, and on the exhale, pull the shoulders away from your ears and try to do a little abdominal crunch up here. Release and inhale, arms open. Exhale, cross in the other direction, shoulders away from your ears, come up. And relax your arms out just like we started. Backs of the hands relax to the floor. Try to breathe into your chest. And slowly, with grace or without, begin to slowly ease yourself off the roller, letting the hips drop to one side. I'm hoping you feel refreshed after that, and if you're new to the world of foam rolling, welcome and congratulations for making it to the end. I also have a foam roller follow along for the lower half, targeting our glutes and legs. I'll link it in the description below and add it to the end card. Hopefully we'll work together soon. Namaste.